This is your post-match Pint, brought to you by the Mad Squirrel in the Mad Squirrel. My name is Jacob Culshaw. I'm delighted to be joined by Charlie Zazzera after Watford 1, Blackburn 0. Charlie, a bit happier this week, thankfully.
A lot happier. Firstly, at the Mad Squirrel, it's great, good atmosphere. Everyone's in after a win. Keep hydrated, number one.
And he's saying keep hydrated, and he's taking my drink out of shot. Unbelievable, Saints. Keep hydrated. What are you drinking today?
I like a sour drink, and this is a toucan. Delicious, but yeah, good to see you, Jacob.
And we've got a late substitution. This is how good this man is. Charlie Bush back on the show. Charlie,
we're in.
How you getting on, bud?
I'm doing all right. I'm not hydrated today. I've had my Coke, so feeling good after the 3 points. I'm feeling good after my little substitution as well.
This is a man. He can do it. He can do it anytime, anywhere. Also, I've got to mention it's Charlie squared today, so I'll manage to get around this. Zazzera Charlie. I think that's the way I'm going to go about it. It did finish Watford 1, Blackburn 0 at Vicarage Road. A much-needed win for the Hornets. It didn't matter how we did it today, but we got the job done. Charlie Zazzera, overall assessment of that performance and result for Watford after today.
Really important. We know in the Championship, especially when you got midweeks, 3 games in quick succession. This time last week we were reacting to Luton. Awful. Leeds, Charlie was there, he could probably get a bit more insight, but I thought after 7 minutes, positive performance from the end of it. But yeah, we needed to win today. Midweek is the first time Cleverly's lost 2 in a row, which I think surprised me, but a good stat. But yeah, getting the win at home again. No team in the Championship this season has won more points at home than Watford.
That's why the Mac's just clipping on the side of the camera. He's got done the research just beforehand. Charlie, you were there at Elland Road in the week.
Yes.
What did you think of that performance, and then maybe the differences or similarities to the performance you saw today?
For Elland Road, you know, we did actually deserve a lot more than we actually got from the game, to be fair. I think the second half we came out a completely different team, sort of ruined by Daniel Batman in the first half. I can't even sugarcoat it, really. It was ruined by Daniel Batman in the first half. So we still gave it a go, but I think this performance definitely made up for the points we lost at Elland Road. And I'm sure we'll go through the positives and the negatives of this game in a minute, but much better than Leeds, from the off instead of just in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I'm really torn on this, guys, because I said to Charlie before we went live, I felt that it was a game that I felt a point would have been a fair result. Personally, I felt that Blackburn started strongly.
Culshaw's calm take.
When he says Carl was passive-aggressive for crap. What I would say is I felt that the Blackburn came out the blocks quickly. They hit the bar, obviously, early on as well, which you must forget. Andy Vyman had that chance in the second half. But Watford's substitutions, the change of formation once again from Tom Cleverley. We mentioned that he was a little bit naive last week in terms of his team selection, in terms of maybe when he brought subs on. It was very different today, Charlie. Did you feel that was a deserved result for Watford in terms of the scoreline and in terms of the way we played today?
Yeah, 100%. I thought second half especially, we were much the better team. I thought we controlled long periods, created good chances. You hit the nail on the head. That change of formation, I don't know if it was by design or because Matty Pollock got injured, but that change of formation worked so well because it got the best out of our best player, who is Quadro Bar. Quadro Bar, move him over to the right, and then just a completely different player, instantly took on his man, putting balls in, and that's what led to the penalty, which led to the winning goal. And I think 4-3-3, like
4-3-3, 4-3-2-1.
I thought it's 4-3-3 with Sissoko at the base, Kayembe still getting higher along with Georgie. Rocco Vata, I thought was brilliant when he came on, really, really exciting, really probably his best performance for me. But yeah, I thought it worked so well because it got the best out of Bar and he changed the game yet again.
Question is, Charlie Bush, is that formation that we finished with a better suited formation to the way the squad's built and also the way Tom Cleverley wants to play than the 3 at the back? That would be my question.
You know what? Exactly what Charlie said. If we're going to play that formation to get the best out of Bar, who we've claimed to be the best player in the squad.
Agree with that?
I do agree with that. On form right now, definitely 100% best player on the pitch. That formation suits him better, and if we're going to play our best players to our best strengths, I guess it might be a good way to go. But obviously, we haven't played that formation from minute 1 just yet, so it's quite hard to tell whether it'll be a good formation to go with from the start of a game. But I think I was speaking to Charlie before about someone in my Twitter comments saying about playing a 4-2-3-1 with Vata on the left, Bar on the right, Georgie through the middle. We're just missing that number 9 striker role. Maybe that formation would be all right as well, but I think that 4-3-3 definitely worked in a second half today, so it might be one to try from minute 1 at some point down the line.
I'll tell you what, the streets won't forget that Bio cameo at the end.
That flick, I was screaming. I did the Mourinho also.
So my dad will be watching this, and he gets rattled by Bio because he feels like he just presses to show off a little bit, like he's performative pressing, he calls it. And the bit that really rattled him was the way Bio's done this sort of Dennis Bergkamp flip round the corner, and then he's given it to the lower Graham Taylor. Come on.
We need to get a senior Culshaw on.
Moment of the match, I'll tell you that for nothing. Do you know what? Let's touch on that moment, the penalty, because I have to say the referee folded like a pack of cards. He wasn't going to give it, and then the rookery started giving him a bit, and he gave it. I have to say that felt like a decision where the reaction of the players and the Vicarage Road, I felt swayed the decision because he started to go away, the referee, and then he changed his mind.
He had a long think about it.
I
thought it was a bit soft, to be fair.
It looked soft from where I was. Yeah, it was really interesting one. Like the delay between it happening and him not giving it. I don't know if he was swayed by the players. Blackburn players weren't happy at all. Yeah, maybe soft, but what I think we deserve one penalty because there was a couple down the line, wasn't there?
Which one?
I don't know. I've had a few too many toucans, so I'm trying to remember. But Vata,
Georgie got pulled down. I think it was it second half, towards the end of the second half. I think if he didn't give the handball penalty, he probably would have given that one. But
Vata as well, maybe.
There was definitely 3 shouts for a penalty. There was a couple of handball shouts for penalty as well, but we definitely deserved at least one of them. Obviously, you've got to create the chances to even get the shout for the penalty, so I think we definitely deserved at least one penalty. And Ido Kiembe, he was lining up for that penalty like he was going to do some sort of Deeney smash down the middle, but
there was a big delay for it.
The referee stopped it, but
you can't underestimate how long he's had to wait there, and also the fact that the referee's made him move it. I mean, look, if I'm being honest, I thought the referee had a shocker today. I think he lost complete control of the game. It felt like he was thinking about the way the players were treating him rather than the way the players were treating each other. I mean, the amount of times he was getting rattled by a little bit of chat, he lost control of it, basically. But he made Edo Kiembe obviously move the ball, and I don't think you can underestimate how difficult that is to wait and actually take a breath, calm yourself, and it's coolly slotted into the bottom right-hand corner.
I think we got something about us. Like there was games today where you could tell we were kind of a bit low on confidence, fragile, but I think Clev sets us up. And we've got a structure about us, so like we've got foundations, and then we're just easing ourselves into the game. How many times have we seen like Watford make a change in the second half and then win it late on? And I think Clev's went a bit back to basics today, told the players come and do the basics really well. I don't think it was our best performance. I know you disagree, but I didn't think Blackburn were great at all. And we did enough to get over the line. I thought we created enough chances in the second half. We had a good chance bar in the first half after a really good cross from was it Ebiseli's cross. So I think we've done enough, but I just think we've got our mentalities improving, and that all comes down to one man for me, and that's Tom Cleverley.
Charlie, was it just a case today of us getting the job done by any means? Because at times it wasn't pretty, at times it felt like quite a scrappy win. If we're honest, it was a scrappy win. It was a one big moment, which is the penalty. Both teams had chances. Blackburn probably had the more clear-cut one, but actually we had the best opportunity, obviously, with the penalty. But after the week we've had, was it just the case of getting it done by any means, like we did today?
Yeah, I think Sam put out a tweet from Australia saying that literally there's a massive opportunity today. 3 points, the only thing that matters, no matter what the performance is, good performance or is a scrappy one like today. It was just 3 points was absolutely necessary after the week we've had.
Did you think Cleverley was under pressure if he didn't win today?
Oh God, I don't think in like his job territory under pressure, but I think we might have got the fans questioning a little bit. Was it a bit of a lucky first 5 games? But no, I don't think his job's in any sort of consideration at any point soon.
Shout out to the 1881. Did you see the banner? What did it look like from where you were?
I'll tell you what, you can check out the image on WD18 fans, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Beautiful banner. Shout out to Tom Bennett as well. He messaged me beforehand and said, it's not every day you get to work on a banner with your own name on it. So you had player, captain, manager, Tom Cleverley. I saw him glance up to it a couple of times, and I think for Tom, knowing the personality that we do with Tom, I think he almost, not would have felt embarrassed, but maybe after the last couple of results, he was probably thinking, we need to win today. The fans were really behind. Even when there was a couple of ropey moments, I thought, in that first half, the Watford fans were really getting behind the team. It felt a little bit nervy at times, but again, it was just a case of getting it done by any means. Standout performers, players we didn't think that played that well, both sides. Give us some names, Charlie. Ebasale got player of the match.
Yeah, I thought Ebasale was good, particularly defensively, especially at the end where he's been working all hard, starting as a wing back, and they were kind of growing, and he had to deal with Todd Cantwell, who's been he's much improved.
Their best player, by the way, I thought, Todd Cantwell.
It's similar to Georgie, the way he moves, doesn't he? It beats players, but I thought Fessy was excellent. It's going to be good competition. I thought he played well against Leeds, didn't he, as well? So, yeah, I thought it was good. Georgie, just same as usual, beating a man. I thought he was good. Still want to see that end product sometimes in the right decision. Who else was good? Quadro Bar when he moved to the... Question for you, do you think what position do you think he's be? Number 9?
I'll tell you what, it hit full time, and I put in our group chat on WD18 that Quadro Bar is our number 9. I think I put it as that. And I'm happy to accept defeat that. Don't get me wrong, I think he is our best option out of the 3. If you gave me Jebison, Bio, Bar as a number 9, I'd take Bar every day of the week. Having said that, that isn't his best position. His best position is drifting from the right or the left, where he can take defenders either way. To be honest, I'd go as far to say in a one-on-one, I'd back him to beat most defenders in the league. Because every time, there's a couple of nutmegs, he's gone past him, he's bulldozed his way through, and it's probably just a case now with Bar of his end product. One man I wanted to bring it back to, though, was Georgie Chatfordazzi, Charlie, because the guy behind me made a really interesting point about his role in this Watford team, that almost he's become the João Pedro of the 22-23, where everything we look to do well, it goes through him, but at times it feels like he carries the weight of the team on his shoulders in terms of the attacking creativity, and maybe at times he needs to take a few less touches, needs to release it a bit earlier. Does it feel like he's trying to do too much? Because we all know how good he is. I still think he's our best player. I know these guys saying Bar. For me, it's Chatfordazzi, but it does feel like he's trying to do too much at the moment at times.
Potentially, but as I think the João Pedro statement is a big statement, of course. It's a big statement, of course, being like a one-man team sort of thing. I think one thing he does, which is vital for us, is bringing the ball up the pitch from the defensive. Well, we play sort of counter-attack style football. He's the man that sort of leads that, brings the ball from midfield, spraying out passes left and right. But yeah, you're right about what you said earlier. Sometimes he does hold on to it a little bit too long. I think there was one example today where he had Vata on his left, Bar on his right, and acres of space. Bar was waving his hands, asking for it. Even the rookery was shouting, give it to Bar, give it to Bar. But he does sometimes take that too many touches. But I think we can definitely let him off with what he's done for us so far this season. But we do definitely need a lot more opportunities going forward. We can't just keep relying on him to create everything. I think.
How do we solve that, do you think?
Oh, God. Put him on the spot here.
This is the thing, because I wanted to mention, I thought it was a drastic contrast in the performance when we had the 3 at the back to the 4. Now, whether that was enforced because Pollock obviously is getting more bandaged up by the week, his head one week, is his arm the next, he's going to be a mummy, I think Charlie said by the end of it. Via Charlie Bush, that one. But I mean, in terms of the formation, I felt that 4-3-3 at home felt so much more suited to the way we want to play. Away from home, you could play with the 3 at the back because you're going to have less possession, or more often than not, particularly like a Leeds, etc. Luton was a good example. But it just feels like that 4-3-3 at home just feels a lot more fluid and cohesive. Or was that too reactionary?
Yeah, my worry is...
It is it?
You're miles off it. No, my worry is defensively. I think that in particular there was a point where they had an overload at the back post, so they put a cross in, and again that's just from our players normally having 3. That's why I thought Ebasale was good. I think we need to give a shout out to Ryan Porteous. I thought he much improved today, pretty solid doing the basics. And Sierralta, has Sierralta been bad at all? This season, I think whenever he's played, he's been pretty solid. I thought maybe not his fault, but Morris had a tough game against Nonso midweek. Again, you're playing against probably one of the best players in the Championship, so I still think the 3 at the back, I'm torn because I think Bar's so influential at the moment that system doesn't suit him with the 3. But I still think for a foundation, it's really important that that's our starting. So it's how we get bar to the team. I think like coaching, sometimes it's like just get your best players in the best position. So interesting, but I'm just pleased that Cleves has the ability to change it, and we got over the line today, which I thought was the most important thing.
On that 4-3-3, I was just saying to Charlie earlier, does that playing that 4-3-3, Georgie plays in a sort of, instead of a number 10 role, playing the sort of number 8 role, does that sort of take away his creativity? Does that make him playing too deep? Are we sort of giving it too much on bar and taking it away from Shafatazi a little bit, or how does that work out? Question from one of you.
Yeah, sorry, just on Georgie, I was saying it against Luton, wasn't I? I'd actually like to see him play a bit deeper to collect the ball, like he's that good on it. And I thought at times in the second half he was quite deep, which was good to see. Yeah, that 4-3-3, to me, the question is the defence. Are we good enough to only have four defenders? But if I said to you, if we had a back four of Ebesele, Ogbonna, Pollock and Larousse, Sema, are you having that?
I am. I mean, in answer to Charlie Bush's question, I think that's better for us having Chatford deeper. I completely agree with you because he's our best ball carrier. So if you get him on the ball and driving us up the pitch, I think one thing we're lacking in that two-man midfield is neither Sissoko or Kiembe really progress the ball up the pitch, whereas Chatford then can have the licence to roam a little bit. And it also means we can get a Vata into the team, or we can get an extra attacker into the team. I know, but instant play as well today. I think he's decent away from home. I still, away from home, he's got a role.
Man City.
He was good against Leeds, wasn't he? I'll give him his flowers for that, but I thought he didn't do much today.
Sorry, what was your question about? So what? And also, I also think with the three-man midfield, it's better for Sissoko because Sissoko can then just sit and almost marshal the two players in front, rather than at the minute it feels like everything that's happening with the midfield two at the minute is relying on Sissoko to turn, whereas Sissoko doesn't really want to get it on their turn at all. Neither does Kiembe really. They like playing with it. They're not very good with their back to goal. So I almost think with a 4-3, with a two-man midfield, it actually suits Sissoko and Kiembe better to go to a 3.
Yeah, I don't get the Sissoko hate. Like, I know.
Not from me.
Not from me. I don't know. Like, you see it online and that, and like he can't get it off the defence turn and like start. But I think for what he is, I think he stays in that position and he's a solid base. His strength is probably his biggest asset. The way he can kind of break up play. And I think for a 36-year-old, I think at this level he's really good. And I thought he was the same again today. I don't really get the Sissoko hate. He was playing as that 6, which again, I'm not too sure if we are playing the 4-3-3 on his own. So, look, I think the fact that we moved to that system and we've seen it a couple of times, we've got different profiles in players, it's promising and it's positive. And the fact that we've got over the line today playing that, it's going to give everyone confidence in the squad. It's another string to Clev's bow, spitting on the camera.
Cool, I was going to say, we do play that 4-3-3. You said it was the back 4, the midfield 3 of Georgie, Kiembe and Sissoko, and then we get extra space for a winger. Where does TDB come into that when he comes back from injury?
That's a great shout. I mean, I'd play him, if you had the 3 in midfield, you'd play him as the 6.
Yeah, 100% play him, start him, but
and then maybe
Sissoko or Kiembe?
That's the question. I think it depends on the opponent, not to sit on the fence. But I think if you know you're can be a bit more offensive, you play Kiembe. If you need probably a bit more of a bite in the middle, you go with Sissoko. But I think Dele Bashiru is our number 6, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, well, yeah. I think he also plays a similar role to Georgie, not as advanced, but collecting the ball from the defence, spraying it forwards. I really enjoy watching TDB play. I think he's going to be very important for us this season. But again, can you drop Kiembe or Sissoko? Sissoko brings so much experience to the team, and then Kiembe, what is that? Five goals for the season now after today? We're sport for options, really.
Do you know what? Also, one thing to mention about that penalty, with Dele Bashiru not on, they all went over to Cleverley to decide. And to be honest,
He comes walking over with the ball. I thought, oh god, here we go.
It's like a hot potato. They're like,
Do you know what? Also, I was thinking everything you don't want to see before a penalty was taken happened. No, it wasn't decided who was going to take it. The referee made him move. There was a long wait, and Kiembe still managed to get the job done. Lads, is there anything else you wanted to mention about the game today before we talk about Watford's next fixture, which is away at Sheffield Wednesday?
should there ever be Watford content without talking about Dan Batman?
We haven't mentioned him yet, have we? We haven't mentioned him yet. Footmob gave him man of the match today. Thoughts on that?
Who was watching?
Yeah, tough moment early on. when they hit the post.
Carried it out, didn't he?
Quite similar to Leeds, wasn't it? Kind of parried it to their man. But apart from that, he didn't have a lot to do, did he? He kept it very basic. My big issue with Dan Backman, is his kicking. I feel like whenever he's got the ball, we just give away possession. We said it in the summer when we were doing like 5 players we wanted side. We've said it. I think a goalkeeper is really important. We need to get a good one. Look, he's a leader in the dressing room, and fair play for him for coming out after the Leeds game and fronting it. He got a clean sheet today, so that's going to build him confidence. So we all know what Dan Backman is, and yeah, I thought he's fine. Hopefully he's going to grow in confidence, and we're talking about him less going forward.
Jacob, I've got a question for you.
Go on, mate.
On Tom Cleverley's statement, is he the best shot stopper in the league? Dan Backman. Do you agree with Tom or do you disagree with Tom?
To be fair, if you're looking at what Dan Backman's good at, that is what he's good at. I mean, he's an instinctive goalkeeper, he's a confidence goalkeeper, and when he's playing at his best, he's a very good shot stopper, and probably one of the best in the league. The problem is goalkeeping, and what Tom Cleverley wants from his goalkeeper isn't that. So, as Charlie mentioned, it's collecting crosses, it's kicking, which he lacks severely. But if you're talking about a one-on-one situation, I back Dan Backman to save more often than not. So, I mean, best shot stopper in the league doesn't mean the best goalkeeper in the league. So that's the bit that I have a problem with. Anyone else wanted to mention anything else, lads, before we talk about Sheffield Wednesday away, which is a game away from home. It's a game in which you're not, despite the win, you're still not.
They win last night, didn't they?
Wednesday. I'm not sure. You didn't have that.
You would have gone.
I'm everywhere.
He's everywhere. Make sure you follow Charlie on his socials. But Sheffield Wednesday is an interesting one under Danny Roll. Particularly when you look at their form so far this season. I guess my question is, lads, the result today, does that change your confidence going into Hillsborough next week?
It's away, isn't it?
different game away from home.
Completely, though, isn't it?
I mean, when was the last away game we had that was not midweek?
I'm not too sure.
Luton last week. he's got rid of that in his memory.
Let's move on.
Sheffield Wednesday, what do we need to see from this Watford performance away that you saw today, maybe to other performances?
What we saw in the middle of the Leeds game, Sheffield Wednesday, I really rate Danny Roll as a manager. I think on paper, like with our players, maybe we've got better players, but I don't think they've had the most amazing of seasons so far. So yeah, we just need a win away from home desperately, and I think that's a game changer. I don't know where we are in the league, but I know we think we might be 7th. We've got the same amount of points as it stands, time of recording, as Sheffield United and West Brom.
Whisper it quietly.
Where's Dave from Cliche?
From those 3 games over the last week, we managed to get a win at the end of it. What do you want to see from Watford going into Hillsborough at the weekend?
What I want to see is, we'll bring it back to a couple of weeks ago, a good start. No silly business in the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I want to get to half time feeling like we could go on to win the game, not feeling like, oh, we can come back from I don't want to go a goal behind. I want to start strong, make it to half time, be that 0-0 or a goal ahead. And yeah, just a lot more energy. I want us to be up for it. We seem to go into our away games a little bit lacklustre, a little bit sloppy, but yeah, start strong, continue that into the second half and hope for the best. I think I'll take a point.
Prediction?
Of what I want's happened, of what I think is going to happen.
What you think will happen?
What I think will happen is I'm going to go for a 1-0 Watford win. Edging it.
I think we'll go out there with a point. 2-2. Charlie?
You know the answer.
3-0 Watford.
It's going to be 3-3.
Honestly, how many times have you predicted that this season?
That's all I've got.
3-0. Right, that's where we're going to leave it. Let us know your thoughts about Sheffield Wednesday next week. Let us know your thoughts on the game today. Did Watford deserve it? Did you think Watford and Blackburn were even? Did you think point was a fair result? Charlie's not having it.
Are we going up?
Are we going up? Playoffs confirmed. Make sure to follow Charlie to my left. Make sure to follow Charlie on our right. And if you want to follow me, you can as well. But make sure you do follow WD18 at WD18 fans. We will be back probably previewing Sheffield Wednesday, hopefully. If not, we'll see you next weekend. Have a great rest of your weekend. And up the Hornets. Take care. You odds.